Michael Klinger began his latest LV County Championship season with a fine half-century as Gloucestershire battled well in tough conditions on the first day of their match with Derbyshire at the 3A County Ground. Put in when play got underway just before 2 o'clock, Chris Dent and Will Tavare had plenty to do on a bowler-friendly day in the East Midlands. After surviving the first 8 overs in testing conditions, Dent chose the wrong ball completely to leave alone. He really didn't need to wait for the raised finger of the umpire as Mark Footitt celebrated his 200th championship wicket. Tavare, meanwhile, lived a charmed life. He was taken in the slips off Tony Palladino, only for the bowler to have overstepped. And then, rather remarkably, he was out again, but this time it was Tom Taylor who had delivered a no-ball. Tavare now into his third innings of the day. He didn't make the most of his luck, however, as in the same over he clipped Taylor to square leg, where Billy Godleman held on brilliantly with one hand to leave Gloucestershire on 49 for 2. These two sides have already met each other this season, Derbyshire running out winners in Bristol thanks to a double 100 from Martin Guptill. Trying to redress the balance, Klinger and Gareth Roderick did well in adding 62 runs for the third wicket, taking the total along to 111 before 3 wickets fell for 8 runs in 4.5 overs. Roderick had made 20 when he hooked a short ball from Palladino to Taylor in the deep just before the tea break. After it, Hamish Marshall was legged before to Taylor for 2, before the same bowler who beat the bat plenty of times removed Geraint Jones in the same manner after the former Kent man spent 17 balls trying to get off the mark. Those wickets left Gloucestershire in a spot of bother on 119 for 5, but importantly Klinger was still there and an edge drive off Footitt took it to a 50 off 84 balls, that shot bringing him his 4th and streakiest 4 to go with 1-6. The Australian did have his moments, but by and large he batted very well to keep his side's head above water here. In partnership with Benny Howell, 40 runs were added for the 6th wicket as the visitors did their very best to try to restore parity. This was a special moment for Palladino as he caught Howell off his own bowling to register his 300th first-class wicket. He's always been a very solid county performer for both Essex and Derbyshire, while also playing some one-day cricket for Namibia. He perhaps should have had wicket number 301, but Jack Taylor got away with this big shout for LBW before he'd caused too much damage. Klinger's last game at this ground last August saw him break an arm. That was forgotten as he made sure that this day was to finish strongly for his team. Taylor backed him up brilliantly. He knows only one way to bat, and that's to go after everything he can in a rather flamboyant style. His technique frustrated the home attack as he sometimes threw himself as well as his bat at balls. By the end of the day he was closing in on the best score of his career, that being the 63 he made against Glamorgan 3 years ago. This shot took him to what was his 3rd first-class 50. It had taken him 72 balls with 5 fours included. By the close he'd moved on to 58, made out of an important partnership for the 7th wicket of 92 runs, those being made in 25 overs. So Gloucestershire will go into the second day on 251 for 6, with Klinger needing just 7 more for his 24th first-class 100. Taylor meanwhile requires just 6 for his career best, so both have milestones to reach first thing.